Hi, how you doing? Justin here. Welcome to IM-149, which is of course the practice routine for Foundation 4. Now we've got our usual 1 hour routine, which you can of course break into 2 half-an-hour sessions if you like. The first thing, we've got 5 minutes of our bar chord practice. We'll be doing strum, pick out and strum, mostly focused on our A-shaped chords, either the major if you're still struggling with that, or the minor, minor 7 and dominant 7th chords. Remember to be picking the ones that you find the hardest. If you can do one relatively easy, don't worry about practicing it anymore. Work on the ones that you can't do. I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. Practice what you can't do, don't practice what you can. Then we've got 5 minutes of the 1 minute changes. I have suggested changes for you, but of course you know to work on the ones that you're having the most trouble with. We then have 5 minutes of the major scale with the metronome. Now ideally we want you to be pushing the speed up a little bit more now. So one thing that you might want to try, if you're comfortable on a speed but you're having trouble moving up to the next one, let's say for example that you can do 120 beats per minute quite fine, but you can't seem to get it any faster, try jumping it up to say 130 or 135, which will be a real struggle and you'll make lots of mistakes. So just have 1 or 2 goes at doing it at that way too fast tempo, and then move it back to say 125. That's a good way of doing it. If you go really crazy to a point where you really can't play it, don't stay there for too long, because you'll kind of practice the wrong things and kind of muck up the synchronization between your 2 hands. But if you can push it up a little bit and then move it back down, it kind of feels a bit easy. So that's a good trick if you're stuck on the one tempo. But really that's what you should be working on now, is developing your speed of your major scale with the metronome. We then got 5 minutes of major scale improvising, which you should be doing kind of a combination thing now. A little bit of the one finger, a little bit of the melodic pattern, a little bit of playing. Most important, of course, is using your ear, letting your ear be the guide, not letting your fingers be the guide. So making sure that you listen to what you play and the effect of what you play has with the backing track. Then we've got a big 10 minutes on the Just Use Sound to Improve Now exercises and or transcribing songs on your own. I have some suggested songs, of course, on the songs page, but you can really be transcribing whatever you like at this stage. Now that you've got all your bar chords, it's okay to be focusing on the songs and the bands that you really like. That's fine. Just get stuck in there and do as much transcribing as you can. If you were going to extend one part of your practice routine, I would recommend it be the transcribing section. Okay, we're on to the second half-hour block now. We've got 5 minutes developing your melodic patterns. So either working on the ones that you've worked on already, or developing new ones and practicing those. Make sure that you've done plenty of work on the playing major scales in thirds, because that's a really important melodic pattern to get under your fingers. That's one that you really want muscle memory to be helping you out with there. So plenty of practice on that. We've then got 5 minutes on your string bending. Really important that you get that technique right. And just a reminder, what you're looking for is it to feel really easy. When you get it right, string bending is easy. When you get it wrong, it's really difficult. Now, it'll be okay at the beginning for it to be wrong, because you've got to kind of find how those muscles work, and it's a little different for everyone. So really remember that it's that motion with your hand. It's got to be your hand and your arm that does the work there. If you can remember that, you'll be sorted, no problems. Okay, then we've got some rhythm guitar. Now the rhythm guitar is introducing that snare drum percussive hit. So practice doing the hit first. So your practice routine is probably going to be wholly consumed by just getting the technique right to start off with, but after a week or a couple of weeks you should be working on incorporating that snare drum hit into whatever strumming patterns you can, and as many as you can. See if you can naturally just fall into it whenever you like. That would be the ideal thing. Then we have 5 minutes of our blues scale and our blues hybrid, just really experimenting with those a little bit, mucking around with them. You know, don't be scared of kind of getting something wrong at this point. Just play with it, find out what the sounds are, improvise with it, see what you can do. If you like, you might want to incorporate a little bit of the string bending in there with that, but really make sure that you know the scale from memory. That's really important, the memorizing of your scale stuff. And lastly, we've got 10 minutes on repertoire, which of course you know by now is just practicing the songs, either some new songs, always good to try and get a few new songs in there, or practicing the songs that you've already got. Well, not the ones that you got perfect. If you got them perfect, you don't need to practice them all the time. So, because as you know, again, you should be practicing what you can't do, not practicing what you can. I keep saying it because it's really important, and it's the biggest mistake I see in intermediate guitar players is guys practicing and playing stuff that they can already do when they should be working on stuff that they can't do. Sorry for going on about it so much if you're not one of those guys, but I have to be sure. So, okay. Lots of stuff, lots of new things going on there, so plenty of practice. Check the website for the list of goals and the things that you should be achieving before you move on to Foundation 5. Good luck, take care, see you for some more lessons real soon. Bye-bye.